What's up YouTube, it's Azure Eruption here, back again with another OCG Prophecy decklist, and this time I'm here with a player called Unicorn's decklist, and he managed to come first place in a hobby shop, so well done to him, and I'm going to put a link in the description to the site which I got his decklist from. So without further ado, he's running 2 Max C, 3 Spellbook Magician, 3 Justice, 1 Temperance, 2 Breaker, 3 High Priestess, 2 Trag, and 2 Effect Veiler for the monsters. For the spells, he's running 2 Spellbook of Eternity, 1 Heavy Storm, 3 Spellbook of Secrets, 2 Pot of Duality, 1 Reborn, 2 Spellbook of the Master, 3 Spellbook of Power, 2 Spellbook of Fate, 3 Spellbook of Wisdom, 1 Spellbook of Life, 1 Wonder Wand, and 1 of the Grand Spellbook Tower. And for traps, he's running 2 Torrential Tribute. And overall, I think his main deck is pretty solid. It looks really good to me. The only thing which really stands out is that he's running 3 Wisdom, 2 Fate, 3 Power, and 2 Eternity. And the problem with running Fate and Eternity is that early game they can be kind of dead, especially Eternity, which I'll get into later. But Fate can be kind of dead if you haven't got your engine going. While on the flip side of that, it can be pretty live if you open with Secrets or with a Magician, because then you could dump Secrets and Spellbook of the Master in your graveyard, and Spellbook of Fate becomes live. And Spellbook of Wisdom, this card is actually like a really good card to see first turn, but the only problem is that it can be dead versus certain decks, and Spellbook of Wisdom doesn't get your engine started. If you open up with it, it just protects your monster from a spell or a trap card. It doesn't get your engine going. It doesn't fill your graveyard up with spellbooks like really quickly. It just sort of is like just I almost want to say it's like a neg one to gain your engine started, just because it doesn't really for example, it's not like Spellbook of Power, which replaces itself. It puts a spellbook in your graveyard. It can get secrets, which can then get Magician, and these cards will get your engine started. So in a sense, Spellbook of Power can also get your engine started. Whilst with Wisdom, it just puts itself in the graveyard, and obviously it has its effect. It's still a really good spellbook, but the problem is that first turn, if you open up with multiple of these, it's not like opening up with multiple secrets or even multiple power, because at least with multiple power, as long as you have a monster to run over, you can get your engine started. With secrets, opening up with multiple isn't even that bad. Magician, open up with multiple can be sort of bad, just because you have to sort of like normal summon it for 2 turns if you open up with 2, for example. But again, opening up with many Spellbook of Wisdoms, it just won't get your engine started, and it could, in a sense, it's a really bad open. But opening up with Run is really good. Spellbook of Power, I just explained, it can get your engine started, so I can understand running 3. Spellbook of the Master, I'll actually get into after I talk about Eternity, and Eternity is often run at 1, because opening up with Eternity is generally not very good unless you've got your engine started already. It's generally a card which you want to sit in your deck, and then you want to be able to search it out when you need it. And this card was run at 1 before Spellbook of the Master came out, and with Spellbook of the Master, it's even more reason to run just 1 Eternity, because Spellbook of the Master could copy it if it's in your graveyard, so there's really no need to run 2 in my opinion. Unless maybe if you're playing some sort of destroyer build where you're banishing a lot of spellbooks. But in a priestess build, I don't see why you really need to run 2. It just increases your bad hands, really. So that's just my opinion on the deck. So onto his extra deck, he's running a Catastar, a Tempest Magician, an Arcanite Magician, an Ancient Sacred Wyvern, a Scrap Dragon, and a Stardust Dragon. And for the Exceeds, he's running a Gachi, a Dargusto Phoenix, a Levia, a Zenmain, a Temtempo, a Leviathan Dragon, an Iced Golem, a Maestroke, and a Big Eye. And for the side, he's running 2 Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper I think is pretty good because there are a lot of OTK decks. Atlanteans could OTK, and they could be really annoying sometimes. So Spirit Reaper I think is pretty good. Also it's pretty good against Heroes and Dino Rabbit. 2 Kaiku, Kaiku's pretty good against Dragoonities. Chaos Dragons somewhat good against Heroes as well. So I can understand running 2 Kaiku. A Chaos Source, which is interesting. Yeah, he is running 4 Darks and 5 Lights. So I'd say it's barely playable. But he is siding Spirit Reaper and Kaiku for more Darks, so I can understand the Chaos Source. He's 3rd Veiler, 3 MST. This, I don't really understand siding 3. I can understand siding 2, just to get rid of those macros, those skill drains, those Gozen matches. But I mean, I think this, if you take out 1, I think this extra space could be being used for something more useful. 2 Mind Crush, which I think is okay against like Merlantian. Out of the top tier decks, out of like Merlantian, Wind-Ups, and Macro Rabbit, the deck which is most annoying to this deck, without a doubt, is Merlantian. Macro Rabbit is not that big of a problem at all. It's Merlantian which is really annoying because once they see that you're playing Prophecy, what they like to do is just go all in and try to DK you. And if you haven't got the Trag, or if you haven't got an Effect Veiler to stop their Diva with Abyss Megalo play, then it could be really troublesome. 2 Royal Decree, which is fine in my opinion. You sided this in against Macro Rabbit, Heroes, and Gravekeepers, and just stun decks in general, and it's good against rogue decks. And 2 Soul Drain, obviously, to help out with Merlantians, and also Dark Quads as well. So that's his deck list. Overall, I think it's pretty good. And if you like the video, comment in the comment section below saying that you like it. And as always, if you haven't already, subscribe please. And this is your option signing out, and I hope you have a nice day.